Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to do a full 7th anniversary preview for Global. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about how many Dragon Stones can you expect to get during the celebration, and we're going to do a quick preview of all parts of the anniversary so that you guys can know what to expect, what type of cool hype events we have coming, what types of banners you should be summoning on, all that good stuff. So I figured I'd get this out now. I'm recording this on June 5th. And we are currently in like kind of pre-countdown mode. So there are already some missions and things to get tickets for the anniversary. So I think people will be interested to know like what are those tickets for, how do we use them, all that stuff. So let's start with Dragon Stones. We're just gonna jump right to it. So looking at how many Dragon Stones can you expect to get during the anniversary. So obviously you should be saving a lot of Dragon Stones going into it. But let's say you're a brand new player or you're someone that you were just too tempted by Ginyu, you dropped all your Dragon Stones. There's still no need to worry. There are still tons of stones coming your way. But it's going to be up to you how you want to allocate those stones out. And there are two very specific banners that I feel like people need to be looking at for the celebration that you want to make sure you have stones ready to go for, right? So looking at all the stones here, we've got the missions of the 7 masters, which those I think are things we're working on right now. And we've got like the pre-Dragon Stones that are coming out. They're like the Dragonstone Orbs or whatever, and they're going to turn into Dragon Stones. We're going to have 77 of those, right? All this stuff in the countdown here. We're not necessarily going to have everything the same, like the returning player bonus. Unless you're a returning player, you won't get those. But it's still going to be a really nice part of stones, right? So looking at part 1 here, just in terms of daily login, daily missions. Here's the Dragonstone ore conversion I was telling you about that you're going to get up to 77. If you get all those dragon ores, make sure you do all the missions for that. Those are those missions of the 7 masters we've been having on Global. They're doing them in like pods of like, I think 7 missions at a time. So you want to make sure you get them all done, because once they go away, you can't get them again. So if you miss any of those dragon ores, you're just going to have to live with how many you end up getting, right? There's going to be a new boss rush, which adds a lot. So we go through all the list here. Just in part 1 alone, Japan had 643, right? And then in part 2, they had 198. And then in part 3, 194, totaling over 1,000 Dragon Stones, right? Now, typically on Global, you can expect to get just as much, if not more, Dragon Stones. So I would not be surprised if Global had like 1,100, 1,150, maybe even 1,200 Dragon Stones by the time it's all said and done. So as long as you're willing to like keep saving up the stones as the missions come out. The thing with the anniversary that's so good is that there's so much new stuff coming out that allows you to earn Dragon Stones. So even for veteran players like myself, I've got like everything grinded on the game. There's still going to be a lot of new stones coming in. So it's very, very good. And then not to mention we get that part EX at the end. There's still going to be like 82 stones in there, according to JP, right? This is all subject to change. And then obviously we're probably going to get top grossing rewards, which would be another 30 stones there. So yeah, a lot of free Dragon Stones coming our way, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're just going to quick overview each part. Part 1 and 2 are definitely going to be the heaviest, so we'll spend some time there. I'll dive a little bit deeper into some of the events. So the first thing that's going to happen is I expect this celebration to start July 7th. I would say July 6th or 7th, but I think based on where things are ending on Global right now, July 7th, I'm thinking, is the day that this will start. And then I would expect the banner to come out July 9th, maybe July 8th. But it's going to be in that like July 6th to 9th area is where everything's going to be happening for all the hype stuff to get it started, right? Okay. So first off, there's just going to be login bonuses. There's going to be login bonuses for each part. So like each part is going to have a special set of missions or login bonuses. So you just want to make sure you're always logging in to get that. You can see in the background there's 7th anniversary tickets. There's 7th anniversary tokens. Dragon Stones. There's the special rainbow tickets. The rainbow tickets that you get, those can be used on the LR banner or the Dokkan Fest banner. So those are really, really good, right? So right here, this is just talking about the missions. So once again, you see tickets, you see Sleepy Kais, all types of Dragon Stones. Just make sure you're keeping up with all the missions as they come up. So there's going to be missions with every part, okay? Then there's going to be a co-op campaign. So the co-op campaign, and there's actually quite a few of them, but these co-op campaigns have different requirements. Basically, as long as you're playing the game, you're typically going to be fulfilling this. So basically, this one is just clear any event 10 times. So the more players that clear this co-op mission, more rewards will come in. So just as you're doing things, in the game, you're going to be getting all these great rewards, including 7th anniversary tokens. You're going to get Dragon Stones, Elder Kais. These are very good items, even a sticker there. They do have, so what they're going to have is they're going to have like the overall co-op and then the overall co-op rewards, but you're actually going to be put into like local rankings, kind of like a world tournament. So based on how well you do within your local group, you can get better rewards. So if you place top 3 in your local group for co-op missions, you can get stickers, which stickers are very rare. They don't come out with those very often. And then 3 Elder Kais. So very, very good amount of rewards there. So basically, if you're link leveling a lot and doing a ton of missions and a ton of runs, you're going to do really well in this co-op campaign, right? Then the big thing is we're going to have the Dual Dokkan Fest. So these are the big banners you want to be summoning on. So we've got the God Duo here of Goku and Vegeta. So they're going to be like the movie hero slash, what is it, Beyond Super Saiyan category. Very, very good category set there. And then we got the Super Saiyan Forge, which they're a very good team as well. A lot of people say the Super Saiyan Forge are the better of the 2 units, but a lot of people think that the gods have the better like leader skill. I'll evaluate them more once I actually get to use them in game. But no matter which way you look at it, they're literally like the 2 best units in the game. So you really can't go wrong with which one you summon on. What I would say is this: if you are a newer player, you want to focus more on leader skill. And the gods are going to give you a better leader skill because that Beyond Super Saiyan is literally any character in the game that goes beyond Super Saiyan 1. So it's an easier to access category for a newer player that doesn't have as many units. That's the one I would summon on as a newer player, but both are ridiculous choices. The Super Saiyan 4s are the ones I'm more excited about, so I'll probably summon more on them. I definitely want to get at least 1 copy of each, right? Okay, and then obviously we got the new Dokkan events for both the new characters, so that'll be fun to do. We're going to have a 7th anniversary special 77 summon, so I think I got a separate tab for that. That's this right here. So this is another banner you want to be looking at. So what's going to happen during the 7th anniversary is there are going to be missions that get special 77 ticket summon tickets. Now, people get confused because there's 2 different types of tickets. There's just a generic 7th anniversary ticket, and then there's the 77 summon ticket. The 77 summon ticket, I think they make it so you still only need 50 tickets. But what this summon is you get 77 units with 3 guaranteed LRs. There's also going to be a stone version of this. Now, the way this is going to work, this banner is going to drop in part 1. And it's going to drop with the stone version. I think you can see the ticket version, but you're not going to be able to summon on it. You're not going to be able to get all of the tickets for the 77 summon until the end of part 3, or till part 3. So, like on Global, you basically plan on not summoning on this till like August. It's gonna this thing's gonna go basically all summer. Like it's gonna start in July, it's gonna go August, and even bleed into September a little bit. I think with that part EX, so it's gonna be a very long, fun celebration. But they're gonna tempt players right away because this banner is gonna open up with a stone summon. It is 300 stones, which seems like a lot, but dude, it's a 77 unit multi with 3 guaranteed LRs. In my opinion, 100% worth it. The only way this would not be worth it is if you are a Mega Whale and you have a ton of these units rainbowed, then maybe it's not worth it for you. But for 90% of the player base, this is totally 100% worth it. And if you look down here, there are actually some very good featured units. Mainly these 3 these top 4 banner units here in the middle, very, very good support units, right? So we've got 3rd form Frieza, we've got 2nd form Cell, Garlic Jr., and then this Gotenks for the time limit team is actually a very, very good support, right? So those middle 4 there are very good. We know Piccolo's kind of a meme. A lot of people don't like him. I don't think Piccolo's the worst. He still is good for the support ability, but there are some very good banner units on here. But what you're looking at is they have LRs on this banner, right? And once again, you're going to get guaranteed 3 of these. And there are some fairly new ones on here. Janemba, this Physical Cell who just got his EZA is a nice pickup, right? STR Turles with AGL Turles coming, God Goku and Hit. I still think UI Goku's a very good pickup here. This Tech Gohan, which we just had featured on Global, Gohan Krillin. Yeah, there's just a ton of good. Yeah, Super 17's really good. This Goku Piccolo's a newer LR. Now, this list might not look exactly the same on Global. It could be different. There could be things added in. There could be things taken out. But just as a rough idea as to what JP had, there's what they had. So, if you look at this list and you're like, yeah, I need a lot of those LRs, it's definitely worth it. Granted, now you could get shafted, right? Like your 3 guaranteed LRs, you could get like the Mega Shaft and get like 3 Majin Vegetas, and you already have Majin Vegeta rainbowed, right? Or you get the combo of like Int Gohan, Majin Vegeta, and maybe like Mighty Mask or something. and they're really old and you already had a rainbow, like, yes, that definitely can happen to people. But even if, like, out of that 300 stones, you get one new LR you didn't have, it's still worth it. Because pulling LRs isn't that easy. Like, it's a lot easier than it used to be. But yeah, 3 guaranteed LRs for 300 stones, 100% worth it. So I'll definitely be looking at that, right? Then we've got the ticket summon for the 7th anniversary. So these are the standard tickets, and on Global, we are already earning these right now. So you guys should be looking at those missions on Global, and these are the tickets you're earning. Now, this banner is a lot less exciting. You can see the featured units aren't as good, but I would say, dude, you got the 2 GT supports here, which are still ridiculously good. And then this Krillin's really good. And you're going to be wanting these GT supports too, especially if you're going to get the Super Saiyan 4 Goku team for the new LR. Like, ridiculously good. So those are really good. The Krillin's really good. The Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas, I'd say, are a little bit underrated. They're actually not that bad. These 17s are crazy, actually. Very good. The only bad part about the 17s is they're not under Cell's leader skill. That's the only bad part. But they're ridiculously good. Who else is really good here? I think this Resurrection F duo, like, they're okay, but they're gonna look really good with the unit that just came out on JP, and I think they're gonna EZA. Could be soon, but when they EZA, they're gonna be crazy because they're orb changers, right? Low key, this Str Goku, this might be the first time he's been featured on anything since he came out. So what happened is so this is a really old unit that was taken out of banners. Then I believe it was during the 350 million downloads during the Namek celebration. They actually just snuck this guy back into the general pool, gave him an awakening. And he's okay. Like, he's not the craziest, but he could easy at some point. But this is a card that I think most veteran players probably don't have rainbowed. Unless you're super old school and you actually held on to this guy, which I did not. But I think on the most recent banner, I think I did just finally rainbow this guy. But low-key, this guy's kind of a hidden gem here as a featured unit because not a lot of people are going to have him rainbowed, and he's got actually really cool animations. They gave him a Kamehameha animation from, like, a different LR's TUR or something like that, and it actually looks really good. I still really like this Resurrection F Goku as an EZA unit. So yeah, there are some decent units here, but the thing with this is LRs are on here as well. And it looks like it's pretty much the same pool as the other one. There might be some slight differences. Int Vegeta, like, if you get this Int Vegeta, man, that's like a really good pickup. Even Goku and Frieza, like, they have an EZA and they're really good. Even if you get something like Jiren, like, Jiren's not crazy right now, but he hasn't EZA'd yet. You pull any LR that you need that hasn't EZA'd, that's really good. Because if they haven't EZA'd, it means they're either, like, really new and they're just good right now, or they're an older unit that's going to get an EZ at some point, right? So there's a lot of value here. Count Cleefla's still crazy, by the way. Like, low-key, they're one of the best aging LRs ever. Like, in the game's history ever. Because I would take them into Red Zone. Like, that's how good they are, and they're so old, and they haven't EZA'd yet, dude. Kalen Khalifa is so good, such a good LR. We all know how good STR Broly is, even though he's an older unit. He's still pretty darn good, so there are definitely some choice pickups you can get from that. I'm pretty sure last year I got a couple LRs off of these. Completely free summon, so definitely make sure you're getting every last ticket you can there, right? All right, then we have the 7th anniversary coin exchange. Now, on the wiki, they only have the 6-year anniversary coin exchange, but I think because it's basically the exact same as the 7th anniversary. So what the coin exchange is going to have, it's going to have Elder Kais of every color, and then it's going to have all of the login units from previous anniversaries. So that would include the 6-year anniversary login unit, and then all these other ones. Now, these login units, if you're a newer player, do not buy these like expecting to put them on your team. So I think STR UI Goku is missing from this list, but he would be on there as well. These are basically just trophies. Like, none of them are worth running. So I would say if you are a collector, get 1 copy of each for collecting purposes, and that's it. So this is a combination of a couple things, actually. It's login anniversary cards, but then it's also like the JP versus Global competition where there's a winner and a loser card. So it's got those on there as well, right? Like the one year it was like Cell was the winner, Hercule was the loser. So depending on which game you're playing, well, so if you're a global player, I think we got the Hercule and JP got the Cell. So you could buy the Cell if you never got that, right? Or if you just missed that celebration, you don't have either of them, you can buy them both, right? But I recommend only picking these up for collection, right? Then you're going to see Awakening Medals, training items, we got Hercule statues, right? Support items, and then potential orbs. if you guys want to know just really quick off the cuff what you should be buying with these, my recommendation to most players, whether you're new or a veteran, is you get all the potential orbs bought out. You need to buy out every potential orb you can. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Because potential orbs are such an important resource and they're limited. You can't farm them infinitely anywhere. So anytime the game's going to give you potential orbs for free, you got to take it. So potential orbs are your #1 priority. And then I would say, you know, then it's going to depend on what you're at, right? Like if you're a newer player, like if you don't have 250 Kais like I do and you struggle to do super attack, you need to buy out all these Kais. Because you need to get your super attack levels up on your characters. So you definitely want to buy those out. Then I would say, you know, then it's kind of up to you. Like, then you could start buying, like, any resources you want out here, but most of this stuff is farmable. Otherwise, you just grab these, like, trophy units, right? So that's basically what you're going to be using those coins on. Okay. And then coming back here, we've got the, okay, so then we've got the red stone and we've got the purple dragon stone. So what's going to happen is sales are going to hit. Everybody's going to get a red dragon stone for free. I'm just going to warn you right now, the units on there are pretty crappy. What I'm going to do is I will make a separate video for who you should buy with your red stone. And I'm going to make a separate video for who should you buy with your purple stone. The purple stone is a paid stone, and I believe you're going to be able to buy up to 3 packs and get 3 stones. Basically, you can spend all 3 stones to get a pack that includes an LR. You could spend 2 stones to get a pack that includes, I think, a category lead and then, like, another Dokkan Fest. Or it might just be a category lead with, like, a couple of side units. And then, or you could spend 1 purple stone just to get a various Dokkan Fest of, like, I think they're the 120 leads and lower. But then you could potentially pick 3 different ones because it only costs you 1 stone, right? So these are only going to be for people who are buying stones. Then there's going to be just other sales. The sales should be pretty good. So if you're someone that's willing to spend money on the game, like, dive in and buy all the sales because they're going to be really, really good. They're going to have something called a daily dragon stone subscription, so just a way for you to obtain more stones. This should be a paid service, so if you're willing to buy money, pay money and get that, it's a pretty good value, so you go ahead and jump into that. JP had an SNS campaign. Typically, they replace this with a Twitter campaign, so I'd expect some type of Twitter campaign there. Elder Kai banner if you need Elder Kais. I don't recommend summoning on it unless you're desperate. Then we got some free-to-play units. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. The free-to-play units for this anniversary are actually not great. But I still recommend you all farm them up. Get them all built up. Don't put orbs into them if you don't want to use them, but at least get them built up. Because they could be required for something down the line. But we're going to get a Goku Chi-Chi card, and we're going to get a Vegeta Bulma card. And then we're going to get a Gohan, Goten, and Trunks card. Now, what's going to happen is in part 1, you're just going to get the base units. And then we'll talk about it, but part 2, you're going to awaken, and then I think part 3, the ECA. Same with this guy. This guy's going to start as SSR. You're going to get the TUR awakening, and then it's going to go to LR. Okay? He's alright, but he's basically just stats. He doesn't have a ton of utility. He's definitely like an okay unit, but like compared to other free-to-plays we've gotten, just doesn't compare to like Master Roshi and like the Ginyu Force, right? Okay. And then increase key rival competition. I forgot to check on what this... Oh yeah, I remember what this was. So, let me go back. I actually have that tab open. Alright, so what this is a once per day stage where you can get skill orbs for Goku and Vegeta units. This is a must run. You've got to do this every day because you could get some very, very good orbs in there. So definitely make sure you're running that stage daily because Goku and Vegeta units, don't know if you all know, but there's a lot of good Gokus and Vegetas in the game, right? All right, let me scroll back up to where I was here. Then, this is really big. We have the beginning of the Ultimate Red Zone. So what's going to happen is in part 1, it's going to open up with a couple of stages. And then in each part, new stages are going to get added. So definitely on my channel, I'm going to be doing runs, beating all of these stages. So you guys can see the team comps I'm using for that. We're going to get a new boss rush. These are always good because they're fairly easy, even for a newer player. All you have to do is just get one good team, or even like sometimes the friend units can carry you. But this is going to be a very easy 35 Dragon Stones. And then new missions for the GT Goku event and the Fighting Legend Vegeta event. Very good there. And then typical anniversary stuff. We're going to have all EZA events open. We're going to have all Dokkan events open. We're going to have hidden potential stages for all types open, which is really, really awesome. And we're going to get a new battlefield. So a lot of stuff coming in part 1. All right. So I know that was a ton there, but let's get into part 2. It's going to get a little bit less and less each time. So what to look forward to in part 2. Now this is going to be, I think 2 weeks after it starts. These are kind of spaced out a couple weeks in between each one. But we're going to get more missions. So more missions. So you can see part 2 missions. Okay. This here is going to be a new set of co-op missions with different requirements. So just make sure you're doing all the co-ops. So you can see here for the co-op missions, they want you to clear certain events. So there's going to be specific events, and down here you can see there's a whole list of events that you can run. So basically in-game they'll tell you that, but clear all those events for the co-op, get all those rewards there, right? And then more co-op rewards. They're going to do, I think they're going to do the local ranking again, which is right here. So you've got all that stuff going again as well. And then here in part 2, we are adding new stages to the free-to-play events. So this should allow you to awaken them all. Then the big hype part in part 2 are the Easy A's. So we are getting Easy A's for Tech Gogeta, Physical Omega Shenron. They are both ridiculously bonkers, fantastic units. Very glad to be getting them. And then Easy A's for the God Vegeta and the God Goku. The God Vegeta, for the most part, I would say is fairly underrated. He's actually quite good. The reason why he's underrated is because this God Goku completely overshadows him. This God Goku is regarded by many to be the best, like, Easy A banner unit in the game, which I don't disagree with because he's a ridiculous defensive unit. This Goku is a red zone killer. So if you've got this guy and maybe not awakened, haven't done anything with him yet, you need to get this God Goku ready to go. Get his SA up to 10 because you're going to want to Easy A him. He's so good for red zone because he specifically has damage reduction against movie bosses, which is like a whole chunk of the red zone, right? So then we're going to have the Easy A battle for the Tech Gogeta, Physical Omega Shenron. Very, very good there. New stages added to both sets of red zones. So the red zone is a movie boss edition and a GT edition, if I didn't mention that the first time. And then new missions for Legendary Goku GT and Legendary Vegeta event. More Dragonstone sales because we've got a LR banner. So this LR banner is going to have the Kaioken Goku and then the Vegeta. So it might seem odd to have like the Saiyan Saga stuff, but the theme of the anniversary isn't movies and GT. The theme of the anniversary is Goku and Vegeta, right? So that's why anything that are these like Goku Vegeta counter cards, that's what they're kind of doing, right? Now this LR banner, I do not recommend you summon on. Here's the thing though, guys, and I think this might be kind of overshadowed. I don't know that people are talking about this, but this banner should have the new LR format, should it not? I don't know that they would go back to the. This is going to be interesting, you guys. I'm gonna write myself a note. I'm gonna bring this up to the people because I host the podcast over on 5/9. We need to talk about this because this banner was under the old format, but we've been introduced to the new LR format on Global. So if they make this the new LR format on Global, this actually could be kind of tempting. Oh my gosh! All right, hold on. I gotta write this down. I didn't even think about this. LR anniversary banner. Yeah, new format. Okay. Yeah, that is actually interesting. Okay. That'll be interesting to see. But I still, like, honestly, guys, like, if you get to this LR banner and you have not pulled both of the new Dokkan Fest, you need to pump every stone into those Dokkan Fest batters until you get them. If you get to the point that you're kind of done on them, then sure, go ahead and take a shot on this if you really want these units. But the LRs are what you really want. The Dokkan Fest LRs from part 1. Okay. And then Golden Weekend missions will be coming back. So we'll get extra missions on the weekends to get extra rewards. And then another Elder Kai banner. So that's basically part 2 in a nutshell. Now the last parts are going to go pretty quick here. So part 3. Part 3 is going to have part 3 missions. More co-op stuff. So the co-ops just keep going. So just make sure you're doing the co-ops, getting those rewards, right? So when I say co-ops, you're not actually like co-oping with other players. It's just you're completing objectives on your own, and then it's combining the score of everybody doing it to meet the objectives, right? Then we've got the Easy A area for the LR. I believe they awakened LR and Easy A both in part 3. And then the big thing in part 3 is we got Easy A's for the Gear 3 LRs. So these guys are both very, very good. But they ridiculously quickly got overshadowed by what's going to happen in Part EX, which I'll talk about in a minute. But they are not bad by any means. They are both very, very good units, especially after transformation, especially the Vegeta, man, with his counters. He can do a lot of damage. We got a new explosive chain battle in part 3. More red zone stages, which is really, really awesome. There's going to be a red zone ticket summon where you can get some extra units. I don't think there's anything too crazy on those, but they're free summons, free units. You might as well take it, right? And then even more missions for the legendary GT, Goku, and Vegeta event. I don't know why they don't constantly push these out like all the time. Because it can't be hard, right? It can't be hard to just add new missions to these. So I feel like they should push those out more often. Okay. Now let's go to Part EX. Part EX. So this was a very unexpected part they added in at the end. Normally what happens at this time, this is literally like the end of the celebration. This actually like was going on in conjunction with like the next Dokkan Fest. So that's like how crazy this was. I believe this was like Ginyu was coming out on JP or something, like as this was wrapping up. Or was it Raditz? Maybe it was Raditz I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think it was like Raditz, whatever. Whatever the Dokkan Fest was after the 7th year anniversary, but that was literally like going right into it, right? So what they had here as a big surprise, normally all this is like a big thank you for the celebration, and they usually give like 30 or 100 Dragon Stones or something like that, right? But what they actually put in here is they still have more logins. They actually upped the boost system to 5 boosts per day. This was really, really good. It did go away. It only lasted a few days. It was like 5 days, you got 5 boosts. And then it went away. But I'm hoping at some point they'll make this permanent or bring this back more. Because the thing is they actually had to change the UI on the screen. They actually had to make room for 5 boosts. So to me, that's a lot of work for something that's always going to be temporary. So hopefully they make this permanent at some point. So then they had the Vegeta Jr. and Goku Jr. Now this was quite odd. Because what happened was they didn't EZA and they were like super bad. And for some reason they waited, and then Global got it with JP at the same time. And then they all EZA'd at the same time. So this will not be in Part EX on Global. I would not expect them to substitute anything here. I think we're just going to not have that. Which I think is poor planning on their part. Because my feeling is, if they were going to EZA these guys at the same time as Global anyways, why not just bring them both out at the same time? This was really weird that they did this. So this is just going to be chopped out of Global Celebration. But the big thing in Part EX is the Super Saiyan 4 LRs are both getting an EZA. They are both ridiculously busted, and they immediately overshadowed the Year 3 LRs, which is why people don't talk about them very much, but they're still very good. It's just these guys are absolutely crazy. So there you go, guys. It was a ton of talking, but ton of Dragon Stones coming our way, a ton of exciting content, free-to-play units, even though they're not great. The EZAs, to me, are the big highlight of this celebration. The EZAs here are top-notch between the Year 4 LRs, the Year 3 LRs. We got the God Goku, the God Vegeta. Like, the EZAs here are crazy. Tech Gogeta, Omega Shenron. So, yeah, getting 2 of the best units in the game on the banners. There's a Broly and a Sin Shenron that are both pretty decent as well that you can pull. So, a lot of fun stuff here. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.